So, God of War Laufey is the new one, apparently. And I never played God of War, but I know it's about a mythical God of War dude. You go around, you tear shit up.
Kratos.
Kratos. You got the shaved head, the beard, you're jacked. It's supposed to be one of the most badass video games ever. And obviously, demographic, I don't know, it's got to be over 95% men.
God of War?
Yeah. Right? And they just launched this new one, and apparently all the leadership on the development team is like butch lesbian types.
Dude, it's always them.
And they decided not to have Kratos in the new game at all. Have you seen this shit?
I've seen you complain on Twitter about it.
Right. And I don't give a shit about the video game. It's the principle of it, like, in all the fucking rhetoric around it that bothers me. They don't have Kratos at all in the game. He's the main character. It's like coming out with a John Wick movie and not having John Wick in it and just having his dead wife in the afterlife in it. Apparently, the main character is Kratos' dead wife in the afterlife, combating flowers and shit with a sword. And here's the thing. They took that actress, that smoking hottie, strawberry blonde, redhead gal from True Blood. Did you ever watch that show on HBO?
I don't like vampire shit.
All right. Well, she was smoking fucking hot. You don't like succubi. She was smoking hot in that show. She's still beautiful. They took her as the character. You know how they make the video game character look like the actor or the actress now?
Yeah, they made her uglier on
they made her look like she was fucking like post-menopause. And she's a fox. And they come out with this and everybody's up in a row. But look at the God of War creator reacts to Laufey. And this dude looks like the guy that wrote Game of Thrones. And he's no longer involved in the franchise anymore. And the responses that I saw from him were basically
just demoralized.
What the fuck is this, right? Yeah, totally demoralized, man. It's like when they fired Steve Jobs from Apple. David.
And he got diarrhea cancer.
Yeah, let's watch this. This is the. So, I'm not trying to make a video game analysis YouTube channel. I don't want to be that guy. Asmongold does it wonderfully.
It's the only time we've ever brought this up. Fucking Cook, dude.
So, on a macro level, we as a nation are experiencing hyperinflation like never before. 40% of all dollars ever printed during the first Trump administration. 35% or more of all national debt can be attributed directly to Donald Trump. Inflation, we know, since the 70s has caused things like DEI, increased crime in minority communities, feminism itself, because people had to psychologically cope with the fact that men could no longer support their families without another income. And that resulted, of course, in entire generations of our people being raised by the state because there's no parent at home. So you send your kid to public school, then they get indoctrinated. Then both people have to go to college where they get indoctrinated anymore. And while they're going to college and getting indoctrinated, they're also being enslaved to the state through debt that you cannot declare bankruptcy on. So it's debt that you're locked in forever. So we've got massive inflation taking place. We've got a petrodollar thing going on that's resulted in us being in a war in basically every nation in the Middle East imaginable constantly. We've got massive cover-ups of pedophilia. We've got a culture in rapid decline because of this inflation, either directly or indirectly. It all boils down to the fact that our money's a lie. And there's been this massive war on men, specifically white men. And because of the fact that our lives are so miserable compared to previous generations, obviously,
we disassociated and played video games.
Yeah, we're very lucky to be in the United States of America. I mean, miserable is such a relative term. We're miserable compared to what we know is possible in the United States of America, which is its own tragedy. We're not miserable in the same way that somebody, getting bombed in Gaza is miserable. So I'm not trying to liken it to that. But yeah, we disassociate. And men basically have to live at home if they ever hope of having a home, because they can't afford to pay rent and simultaneously save the money for a down payment on a house, and the house prices go up. So by the time you have enough money to make a down payment on the house prices are up 25%. So you have to save more, and then you're living at home. Then if you're living at home, no woman wants to marry you, so you become involuntarily celibate, or you engage in hookup culture, which is his own kind of rot, or porn, or both, or all three, whatever. And so white men, they fucking play video games. And many of the video game heroes, from Red Dead Redemption through the Grand Theft Auto games, happen to be white guys, because that's the demographic. It's not that the video game industry is trying to propagandize the celebration of whiteness.
Well, white and Asian.
Yeah, they're just making content for their fucking market, right? And you come out with a God of War thing about this individual white dude who just stands up against every atrocity possible, overcomes every challenge possible. And a lot of guys enjoyed it. Fun game, good story, rooted in mythos. It's got a fucking creator that looks like the guy that wrote Game of Thrones. Same shit. Game of Thrones is appealing to the same market. And then through this diversity, equity, and inclusion Marxist bullshit, coupled with feminism, all because our fucking money's a lie, we not only have to deal with multi-million-dollar projects coming out with trash content, whether it's in Hollywood, whether it's in television, whether it's in video games, but we have to suffer all the fags that are in any way related to the industry, either directly in it or tangential, like content creators that review video games, coming out and saying, oh, you guys don't like playing video games as a hot chick? No, I don't want to be a hot chick. I don't want to role play as a hot chick. Real men don't want to be a chick. Now, don't get me wrong. You play Lara Croft, Tomb Raider from Nintendo 64. That makes sense. That story was based on a woman. Like the whole thing was centered on it. It's not throwing a woman in for the sake of it. It's not a token woman, right? There's my favorite author of all time is Ayn Rand. She's a woman. I'm not somebody who's inherently opposed to women, but when it's done for the sake of it, that's where I have the problem. Then you have these guys that come out tweeting about how hot she is, even though the video game, and it's the same exact psychology that we see at feminist rallies from beta men trying to get laid.
Yeah, male feminist.
Male feminist, exactly. We see it with the guys going after that EKP. We see it with the male feminists at the rallies.
Facts.
And we see it in the video game culture. And we don't have that much territory left. We've got country music. We've got...
That's not a male space anymore.
We've got small business ownership.
That's not a male space anymore.
We've got marriage and Christianity. We don't have any property anymore. We've got taxes. But there's only a few things that we have left, man. Video games was one of them. And now we're just forced to listen to old music, watch old movies, and play old video games because all the new shit that comes out is fake and gay.
I mean, there's been an invasion on male spaces since essentially the women's suffrage movement.
That's the fucking point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
The reason I talk for fucking 15 minutes about a video game is because
it's philosophical. It's indicative of a bigger problem.
That type of shit that we just saw is a direct attack on Western civilization.
If you ever played Tekken or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, you knew that men played because we were talking about the tiggle bitty anime titties.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't even tell you if I ever played Tomb Raider. I used to call it Womb Raider. And, like, you never, like, it was like a novelty. And I'm an equal opportunist. Never to say that, like, I think girls do. Like, we should all have access to video games. But when video game from Atari onward, it was predominantly a male space, organically, originally. I think everyone could agree with that, right?
Yeah, it was computer nerds.
Like, you ever get in a Call of Duty fucking lobby? It's like, there's a girl in here? Then you hear all the jokes and everything, you know? So women so I respect the female gamers, but this was
2016. I don't know if you knew this, dude. There was a time when you could Google famous inventors, just the words famous inventors. And they had adjusted all of the search results so that only black inventors would show up. They've since corrected it. But it's like, bro, why are you fucking taking our territory? Make your own new cool thing. There's tons of fantasy lore, fantasy novels that feature women as main characters. Tons, man. The Sabriel series, that's a famous fantasy that features a woman.
What the fuck is that?
It's for nerds. It's called Sabriel. Abhor's in there. It was a great trilogy. I don't know. I read it in junior high.
Yeah, you're just
it was nerdy
out.
shit, but whatever. Features a female. I didn't even like Elder Ring, or it wasn't called Elder Ring. That's a video game. The Amazon Ring of Power series was a terrible series, but it wasn't terrible because there was a female lead. Nobody's bitching that Arwen is, saving Frodo's ass in Fellowship of the Ring. It's not a sexist thing. It's like the inherent subconscious understanding that when you do something like that, you're ruining something that's already good. I'll tell you a fucking story. When I was a kid, my best friend was Chris Sellers. He lived next door to me. Almost exactly the same age. I met him when I was 3 years old. I probably spent every day at his house, and the days that we weren't at his house, he was at my house until I was like 15 years old. 12 years, every single day. Dragon Ball Z after school, going to Six Flags together on birthdays, shit like that. Everything, man. We were fucking two peas in a pod. Leopold and Loeb. Lewis and Clark. One day we spent, I don't know, we must have been 10 or 11 years old. We spent like 3 hours straight in the fall in Illinois. I remember my nose was running because my face was so cold. Making the most massive leaf pile you could possibly fucking imagine.
Oh, those were the fucking days.
You know, we had we lived on, I think, 2.5 or 3 acres. We had some old trees. Every fall, all the leaves fall in Illinois. We made the fucking biggest leaf pile you've ever seen in your whole fucking life. I mean, it was the size of an igloo. I'm surprised that you didn't fucking pop out and, you know, just fucking.
Who, me?
Yeah. You look a little bit like a
Eskimo?
Yeah. They're Asian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, right when we get it done, his fucking little sister, who was stereotypically annoying as fuck. She's a sweetheart now, but fucking annoying. Lauren. Oh my fucking God. Get the fuck out of here, Lauren. I always wanted to fucking interfere. She comes running. She's like, I don't know, 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old. I don't know. She's a few years younger than us. Fast as she fucking can. She gets the first dive in the pile, fucks it all up. Chris starts crying. He's like, you know, it's like when you get a tax bill after you've been busting your ass all year. And I remember his mom got involved because there was a scene. He was yelling at his sister. She comes over, what happened? And we explained it to her. Like, look, we built this pile all fucking day. She gets the first jump. She fucked it all up. We spent all this time on it. And, you know, we shouldn't have been fags about it. We should have just rebuilt it. It's not that big of a deal. But we were kids, you know, little kids.
I'd be devastated.
Yeah. And basically the outcome of the whole conflict was, well, share with your little sister, even though she contributed nothing to it. Share. That experience is exactly what's happening to video games. We build this fucking thing for 20, 30 fucking years. We're called nerds. We're shoved into fucking lockers. We build the most amazing technology, the most amazing entertainment. I was a groomsman at a wedding in Texas with somebody I met playing Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2017. Just randomly, real relationships are being built. Some of it's actually very healthy. It's not just incels killing time as their youth flies by. If you're a healthy, mentally well adult, you can enjoy video games without being a loser, right? Build it for decades, and then out of nowhere, because of some bullshit diversity, equity, and inclusion policy that seems fair, that seems just, we've got fucking Lauren coming in and just wrecking the like 1 of 5 things that we have left.
Man.
And then when we bitch about it, we're just condemned by a bunch of fucking betas.
Yeah, but look at the people bitching. I was just about to say.
Yeah, they're
exactly,
all betas,
bro.
Yeah, that's what's. Oh, it's just so.
They all got that soy boy stare.
It's like that famous scene of General Patton. You know, famously slapped the soldier that was having PTSD. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't know he did that, but that's some fucking big dick energy.
It's historical too. I think that's one of the reasons he was fired or relocated or whatever. General Patton's going through the barracks, checking on his men. There's a guy like weeping because he's got PTSD, shell shock, whatever you want to call it. And Patton's so frustrated with his perceived weakness that he just starts slapping the shit out of him. Doesn't even know what to do because it's just like so antithetical to Patton that you would go into battle and then cry like a woman afterward, right? And it was very controversial. It was even featured in the movie. Let me see if I can find it.
Patton had a movie?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude, it's famous. Here he is. He's checking on his wounded men. Dude's obviously going to be blind that he's checking on. So Patton's emotional here. He's not sobbing, but he's emotional, seeing his men so fucked up. Purple heart on the pillow right there. You guys will see it when the audio kicks in. It'll switch to it.
What's the matter with you?
I guess I just can't take it, sir.
What did you say?
It's my nerves, sir. I just can't stand the shelling anymore.
He's not going to let that infect the rest of the unit.
Your nerve.
That's what he says. I won't have cowards in my army.
Well, hell, you're just a goddamn coward.
Shut up.
slapping him on the helmet with his gloves.
We don't have a yellow bastard sitting here crying in front of these brave men who've been wounded in battle. Shut up! Don't admit.
August 3rd, 1943. At the 15th Evacuation Hospital near Nicosia, Sicily, Patton was visiting wounded troops. He encountered Private Charles Kuhl from the 26th Infantry Regiment, who was sitting slouched on a stool with no visible physical wounds. When Patton asked what was wrong, Kuhl replied that he was nervous and just can't take it. Patton flew into a rage, slapped Kuhl across the face with his gloves, grabbed him by the collar, dragged him out of the tent, and kicked him in the backside, kicked him in the ass. Called him a gutless bastard, coward, and son of a bitch, then ordered him sent back to the front lines immediately.
Oof.
And Kuhl was later found to have malaria and high fever. So it looks like a week later on the 10th of August.
Oh,
At the
man.
93rd Evacuation Hospital,
That's so fucking funny.
Patton confronted Private Paul Bennett, who was suffering from battle fatigue. So this is a week later, different incident. Now known as PTSD, combat stress reaction. After heavy shelling, Bennett was crying and said it was his nerves and he couldn't stand the shelling anymore. Patton again became enraged, slapped him across the face twice, with the second slap knocking off his helmet, just like we saw in that scene. Pulled out his pistol, waved it in Bennett's face, and threatened to shoot him, saying he ought to be lined up against a wall and shot, called him a coward, and ordered him removed from the hospital and returned to the front. All right, word spread quickly. Eisenhower was furious. Patton reluctantly apologized, and Eisenhower refused to relieve Patton of command entirely because he considered him too valuable. However, the incident damaged Patton's reputation and contributed to him not being given a major combat command for the initial Normandy invasion on D-Day in 1944. So he's instead used in a deception role, commanding a fake army as part of the Operation Fortitude. So I guess he didn't get fired over it, but, you know, he missed the opportunity to participate in an invasion.
I respect Patton. I was always a MacArthur type of guy.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I mean?
shall return.
No, we should have went and finished the job in China.
Yeah, but that's what he said to the Philippines, right?
I don't fucking know.
He
what
was in
said
the
to those
Philippines.
chinks.
He had to leave. Philippines were freaking out that the U.S. was leaving, thinking that they were going to be occupied, I think, by Japan. And he said, I shall return. And he came back.
Did he return? Yeah, he came back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't he didn't get the job done in China. So, we went on a little diatribe there. Should we?
Yeah.
Go
Point
to
I'm
the
trying to
news of the
make is
day.
every time I see some fucking dude say that we should be embracing women in video games, and
We already do.
I'm like Patton.
They're included.
Yeah, I'm like Patton. I just want to fucking slap his helmet off.
We're always going to defend the manosphere.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
There's not much of it left, dude.
Yeah, and fucking it's white people that are the problem because they put up with liberalism and feminism and all this shit. And we're so disappointed. But we're happy the fertility rate's returning. We'll go to...
Hold on, let me tie a knot on this. MacArthur was ordered by President Roosevelt to leave the Philippines to avoid capture and continue the fight from Australia. He was reluctant. The short, defiant, I shall return phrase quickly became a powerful slogan and promise, especially to the Filipino people, that the United States would come back. And later fulfillment on October 20th of 1944, when MacArthur landed at Leyte Island during the liberation of the Philippines, he famously updated the quote saying, "People of the Philippines, I have returned." And that's how it became iconic. I don't know when he was ordered to leave. It was, March of 1942, he was ordered to leave. So it's 2 years later he came back. He said, told you I'd be back.
Remember the aviators he used to have on? What a
Yeah.
fucking
Remember
G.
Elmer Fudd? Elmer Fudd used to do I Shall Return. Did you ever watch the Looney Tunes? That's another thing, the fucking manosphere.
Oh, yeah, the guy with the shotgun?
Yeah. That's what you know of Elmer Fudd?
Yeah. And he had a stutter problem.
He had a speech impediment, but it wasn't a stutter, was it?
Same fucking thing.
Why do they all fucking have speech impediments? Everybody in the Looney Tunes. Elmer Fudd has one. Who's the cowboy? He's got one too. Yosemite Sam.
Yosemite Sam, yeah.
Yeah. There's several others. All speech impediments.
Maybe it was the demonization
Because
of
it
the
was
strong white
fucking
male at
funny,
that point.
dude. It was funny. People understood, dude. Anyway, what were you going to play next? What do you want to get into? Let's do a show.
Yeah.